You guys, I'm finally moving to LA, and of course I recorded the full apartment hunting process, so I have to share it with you guys. Hi guys, and welcome to this video. As you guys can tell by the title and by all smiles, I am finally moving to LA. I want to give you guys like a quick little intro about me. If you guys are new here, my name is Jada. I'm 24 years old. I just turned 24 last week. I'm currently living in Creedmoor, North Carolina, soon to be LA. And what else about me? I have my master's in health psychology. I'm currently working in social media marketing / video freelance. So right now I'm working with a startup fashion company making their videos for their TikToks full time. I'm also a full-time creator myself, and I make videos on TikTok as well as some posts on Instagram, and I'm trying to get more consistent on here as well. So that is a little rundown about me. So now, why am I moving to LA? If you guys have been here for a minute now, you guys have watched my LA vlogs and you guys just see how happy I am when I'm in LA. I just know LA is where I want to live. It's where I feel the most inspired, the most motivated. It's just like a perfect place to live. It's warm there. There's the beach, there's the mountains. There's just so much, and it's just literally my happy place. So I knew first and foremost before I even started apartment hunting exactly where I wanted to look, and it was in LA. I looked in a few beach towns. I looked in like West Hollywood, and I just kind of had like a good idea of where I wanted to live at. Also, I don't have any strings attached to me. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. So why not just live where I want to live? Now that I'm working in this industry, there's just so many opportunities that are out in LA. I recently signed with a management team. So there's just a lot of opportunities that I'm missing out on just by being here in North Carolina. There's events that I could go to if I was out there. And there's like brands I could work with in a studio if I was out there. So there's just a lot more opportunities. And I just know living out in LA will literally help me get to where I want to get in the industry. A lot of you guys don't know this about me, but when I was younger, I was really into modeling. So it's been on my mind a lot lately to get back into modeling and just like get back into the things that I wanted to do when I was a lot younger. So I definitely think LA is the place for that. So now I want to get into like my criteria and my non-negotiables when I was originally apartment hunting. I talked about this a little bit in the vlog, as you guys will see, so I'll give you guys like a quick little rundown of the things that I was looking for in an apartment. It was definitely important for me to have good lighting. I was looking for either east-west or south-facing apartments, so whether they had those big floor-to-ceiling windows or whether they just got a lot of sunlight during the day. It was just very important for me to have good lighting because I'm always filming, and it is important to have the best lighting as possible. Like, I didn't want to have to be using a ring light 24/7. That was the #1 thing that I looked for at every single apartment. Also, area. I want to be living in the safest places possible. I don't want to be scared to be out at night if that's something I need to do, along with just having in-unit washer and dryer as well as parking. So like I said, I talked about that a little bit more in the video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And price range, I was trying to be as flexible as possible. I didn't want to spend more than $2,500 for my budget. I definitely tried to factor in utilities and things like that because that does come into play, and a lot of people do forget about that when setting their price range. So I set my rate at $2,500. But definitely do keep in mind with that $2,500 a month, I am choosing to live in LA. Like, everybody knows that LA is expensive. People are always like, oh my gosh, why don't you just move downtown Raleigh? You can stay at a place half the price and it'll be a lot bigger. And I just feel like for LA, it's a place I want to be. The people that are living in LA are living in LA because they want to be there, and that's definitely something for me. I don't want to live with any roommates. That wasn't an option for me. Just like, I don't know, I'm just like such a particular person. I'm so clean. I'm a Virgo, and that just wasn't something that was in the cards for me. So I didn't want to have a roommate, and I knew that was where I wanted to be, so I set my budget at that, and thankfully that worked out perfectly for me. So let's just get right into this video. Good morning. I'm getting dressed for the day. My first tour today was at 9, but it got canceled, which I'm like, is that a sign? But no, it's not. It's not. It's just like the market here has been crazy. And so far I have 9 tours because people are literally like leasing out homes on the daily. Like, literally I can set an appointment right now for later today and I could get a call like that place was taken. I have this fear of signing for an apartment or like applying for an apartment that I never seen and then moving in and it's just not being what I wanted it to be. And I just don't want that to happen, but I feel like that might be what I have to do, especially since I'm not from here and I don't live here. So like, I'm not able to just up and jump and see something when I want to see it. So I'm about to finish getting dressed and head out to my first tour. I think I have 4 lined up today between 1 o'clock and 2:40, and then tomorrow we're mostly touring West Hollywood because today we're checking into a hotel that's in West Hollywood. So really excited to move to that hotel. This was just like temporary since we got in so late last night, and it worked out perfectly. But I want to give you guys some of like the details of like what I'm looking for, what I'm going for, what I'm looking to spend. Definitely my budget, I don't want to go over 2,500. So like if something is like 24 something, I'm trying to factor in utilities and stuff because I do not want to be spending over $2,500 a month. Some of my non-negotiables definitely include in-unit laundry. I do not want to be like feeling like I'm in college, going to the bottom of a building trying to do laundry. Also really want parking. Like I don't want to have to struggle at my own home to try and find a place to park every day. Of course, natural lighting because I need to film, good lighting, good windows. A fridge. A lot of these places in LA do not have fridges, which is very strange to me. Like, how do you not have a fridge? I literally came across a listing and a fridge was optional, and I'm like, how is that an optional type of thing? Like, you need a fridge. I think that's pretty much it. I need a walk-in closet. I have a lot of clothes. I'm a fashion content creator, so like definitely something to fit all of the stuff that I get in from brands. And for the most part, I feel like that's it. I'm sure I'm missing something. I'll tell you guys later if it comes up in my brain. But that's practically it.
The destination is on your right. Cha-cha matcha.
All right, y'all, I'm here in Santa Monica for my second tour of the day. My tour is at 1:30 right now. It's 1:26, but I totally forgot to film my tour earlier. I toured a unit in Santa Monica as well. It was a bit closer to the beach. Right now, I'm closer to downtown. That was a 1-bedroom apartment, and they just showed me a model. The units that I will probably be staying will be opening up in September. It was a pretty nice apartment. They had a gym, they had a pool, and then they also had laundry on site, but not in unit. So that was a pretty nice apartment. I'll be sure to film this one. This one should be a studio starting at $20.45. I've actually spoke to the lady at this building a few times, so I'm pretty excited to see what they have to offer. Apartment number 1, like I mentioned, I'm so sorry I forgot to film it. It was a stage 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and it was going for $2,400. Right now it's going for $2,500, which is crazy. But since I didn't record that, let's get into building number 2. So in this building, I was showed a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. I originally was going there to view a studio. They had a studio listed online for $20.45. but it was still occupied with the tenant until mid-September, which was perfect. I was like, at least I can get a good little visual of the apartment and just see what this building looks like in general. So we walked into this apartment and it had really nice finishes. Initially, my first response was, this is really nice. I really like the finishes in this kitchen. For this apartment, like I mentioned, this is one of those apartments that did not have a refrigerator included, and I was like, what am I gonna do without a refrigerator? Overall, regardless of the refrigerator, I thought this was a pretty nice apartment. I really liked the finishes in the kitchen. I thought the bathroom was pretty nice. I liked that it had a tub, but I left there just thinking, this is not the place I want to be. As you guys could see in the bedroom as we're walking in, it is pretty dark and it's also relatively small. I didn't think I'd be able to fit anything in there other than a bed, not even like side tables, not a dresser or anything. The closet was a pretty nice size. I was like, okay, I can make do with this. It only had one little small sliver of a window, and I just didn't think it'd be adequate for recordings in there. This building also didn't show any amenities, so now that I think about it, I'm not even sure if they had any amenities available. It was in a nice area, pretty close to the beach. It was also in a pretty active area. There was a lot of retail stores in and around the building, a lot of restaurants. So it was a relatively nice area. Just the apartment was pretty dark, and I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to get my best content living there. And it was also really dark. It was on a bottom floor and it was facing a lot of trees, so just not a lot of opportunities for sunlight to come in. So I did pass on apartment number 2. Building number 3, this building was offering a studio apartment for $2,040, which was the best price that I came across. I had a lot of hopes for this because this was a lot below my budget, but it did not have in-unit laundry, so I did try to factor that in, and I would have to be paying for laundry each week, which isn't that much, but it still does make a difference versus having it in your apartment. But this apartment was a studio. I walked in and I kind of thought about if I actually wanted to live in a studio space. I did actually really love the kitchen. I love the backsplash in the kitchen. I love the white cabinetry and the gray countertops, stainless steel kitchen appliances, and I just really love this kitchen. I loved how it was kind of sectioned off. This apartment also had a lot of storage space, so it had 3 separate closets for clothes in or whatever else you may have. But my initial reaction to the studio space itself was that it was rather small, and I feel like I would have felt a lot of clutter living there. They had a big like AC unit on the wall, so there wasn't anything that I can put practically across that wall. And I just didn't know how I would be able to make do with that space with like a bed and maybe having people over and maybe even fitting a couch or anything. I just didn't think I'd be able to do that with this space. I did really like this bathroom. There was also storage in the bathroom. It had a medicine cabinet. Really nice countertops, again, those gray countertops, and it also had one of those shower / bathtubs, which was nice because a lot of these apartments just had those walk-in showers, which are also nice, but I'm so used to having bathtubs here at home. And there was also a window in the shower to add in some extra lighting in this apartment. But I left this studio apartment just kind of wondering if I was interested in a studio space or if a studio that was under 600 square feet would be big enough for me. This apartment only had a pool as an amenity, and again, they did have that laundry in the basement. So there was only 4 for the whole building. Thankfully, it was a smaller building, but I just didn't think that, again, this was something that would bring out my best self. So I left my apartment tours that day feeling a bit unsure. All right, guys, I just checked into my hotel here at the Mondrian on West Hollywood. Like I said last night, we just stayed at the airport hotel for convenience. Like, we got in really, really late. It would have been a struggle to get our rental car and then have to drive all the way out here to Hollywood last night. But I just went and viewed my last and final apartment for the day. It was a studio in West Hollywood. Really nice apartment. Like, everything was nice. It's just extremely small. And that was the same problem with the apartment that I saw beforehand. And I'm kind of getting stressed out. Like, I know I've only viewed a few apartments today. I was supposed to view a lot more, but I just feel like, I don't know, like a part of me feels like I'm being picky, but another part of me feels like, no, I'm doing just fine. Like, I'm gonna be paying my money that I work for monthly for a place. So I definitely want it to be a place that feels like home and a place to like I enjoy coming back to all the time. Like, if I'm gonna be paying upwards $2,500 or $3,000 for an apartment, it's gonna be what I want it to be. And I also am starting to feel like for the price of studios, I can get a 1-bedroom. For the price of 1 bedroom, I can get a 2-bedroom. And I don't need the 2-bedroom space, but I'm like, if I can have the extra space for the same price as like a smaller space, why not have it? So I'm kind of getting like stressed out about it. I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 tours scheduled for tomorrow. One of them, the first one in the morning, I actually rescheduled. I'm going to go back to the Venice area to view a property that I saw, and the tenant is currently still living in the apartment, so like I won't be able to view it until like she says it's okay. So that'll be tomorrow morning, and everything else is in like West Hollywood, Hollywood Hills area. And I may add on another one just in case one of those gets canceled because the market out here is crazy. But so far today I viewed, I don't know why it feels like I viewed more than what I did, but I viewed 3 apartments today. Well, I viewed 4 apartments today. The first one I did not show you guys. Wait, no, I did. I viewed 3 apartments today. Why is like my mind going crazy? I viewed 3 apartments today. The first one I didn't film, but that was like probably my favorite out of all of them today. That was in Santa Monica. The next one I viewed, which I showed you guys, was also in Santa Monica. It was just extremely small and very, very dark, and like I cannot deal with that. One of my main things, like even if I wasn't filming, I feel like I would want to have nice bright lighting just because like I don't want to be in my apartment depressed because it's dark all the time. And then the last one that I viewed was here in West Hollywood, and it was just a really small studio. As you guys could see in the film, like it had 3 closets, the bathroom was nice, the kitchen area was nice. It was just extremely small. Like I feel like I can't make do with that space. Having a living area, having my bed all in the area, and also filming in the area. I just feel like I would be super crammed all the time and I just won't be happy in that space. Also, everything that I viewed today had no in-unit laundry, and that just gives me college vibes, and I do not want to feel like that. I have to like carry my laundry throughout a building, make sure I set on a timer to like get my stuff out and move it in time for somebody else does it, or even getting my laundry stolen. I just feel like I shouldn't have to worry about that, especially when I'm paying upwards $2,000, $3,000 for rent monthly. So really high hopes for tomorrow's tours. I'm really thinking I'm just about to chill for a little bit and probably schedule like one more tour that I know I would like, because today was like, yeah, okay, this could work, but I don't really like love it. If anything, it would be the first one, which you guys would see if I end up moving there. But I don't know, I'm getting very frustrated. Good morning, guys. I'm heading to my first tour of the day in Venice. This is like further away from everything else that we'll be viewing today. So we have this one tour. This is the studio I was telling you guys about yesterday. It's like the Venice Abbot Kinney area. This building actually has a tenant living in it, so I'm not sure if I can film. I'm definitely going to try to if I can, but the rest of my tours today have 5 other ones between West Hollywood and Hollywood Hills, and I actually have some really good tours set up for today, so I'm excited to see everything, both studios as well as 1-bedrooms. Lots of different floor plans, and they have a lot of availability between now and September, so I'm excited to see all these buildings. I've looked at a bunch of them virtually and talked to a few of the leasing agents, so I'm really excited to see everything that these buildings have to offer. On day 2, we saw 4 different apartments. I believe we were meant to see 6, but I didn't end up going to my last 2 apartments because I just didn't know what I wanted at that point, and I kind of did, but you guys will see. So building number 4, we saw a studio, and it was going for $2,399. This studio was relatively small, but again, it was a pretty livable space, so I did want to go and see it. I really liked the marble countertops that were in the kitchen. Again, those silver stainless steel appliances, and it had a back door that walked out to a really nice retail area. It did have all built-in storage, so the bed was also built in on a plank, lots of shelf space, and it did have a pretty small wardrobe. The tenant was living here, so we weren't able to like open the closets or go through anything. But this bathroom, guys, I was so obsessed. The bathroom was so beautiful. It was a walk-in shower. They had black flooring and really nice white bricks in the shower, black finishes, and I was just obsessed with this bathroom. Like, I would have literally lived here just because of the bathroom. It was so beautiful, but again, small space. There was no room for like a couch or anything. She did have a little spot to eat in her apartment, and it was just like a really small apartment, definitely livable, but just on the smaller end when it comes to things like that. This apartment also did not have any other amenities. It was just in a great location. Like, the location was everything. And the thing that got me the most was that there was no in-unit laundry, and there really was no on-site laundry. They did have access to laundry that you can go to, but you would literally have to walk out on the road with your laundry to the back of a building in an alley to get your laundry done. And again, I'm single. That was just not in the cards for me. That apartment was so beautiful. It was perfect. It reminded me a lot of an apartment that I stayed in previously when I studied in the UK. But I just think for that price that it was going for, it wasn't worth it, even though it was a studio. But the location is definitely what makes that apartment a bit more livable. So my first viewing literally reminded me of my apartment in the UK. It's very livable. Like, I really like it, but it's just like really small, and I can definitely find something bigger for the price. But I just had a smoothie bowl, and then we came across this farmer's market. So I'm gonna walk around for a bit because my next tour isn't until noon, and it's only 9:59 right now. So building number 5, I was the most excited for this building going in. I just knew that this was going to be the one. Guys, this apartment was everything. The amenities, everything. You walked in from the parking garage, it had a welcome center. Just reminded me of like going back to college. You walked in, bright lights blinking everywhere. It was beautiful. A really nice welcome center. They had a huge mail room, a big open lobby. It was just like great amenities. So in this building, we actually were able to do a self-guided tour. You were able to walk through and see all of the amenities first, and then at the end, you were to see a stage, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. I was going there to originally look at a studio that was listed for $22.35, but that studio again was occupied, and it wouldn't have been available until late September But guys, this apartment, one of the amenities included a huge pool that was absolutely beautiful. I could not stop saying wow at the pool. It was the most beautiful pool I have ever seen in an apartment building. And they also had a study room and a study area for you to just get work done and come and chill. Lots of TVs, a game room, and they had a 2-story gym. I was just like, wow. Like, I just love this gym. It was 2 stories, it was huge, lots of machines were open and everything. And then there was also a rooftop. You were able to look down from the rooftop, you could see the pool. And there was also skyline views of downtown LA. This was also able to be reserved if you ever want to have a party or anything on the rooftop. And I just really love the amenities that this place had to offer. This was definitely the best place that I had seen quite yet. But the apartment, this was again a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom staged apartment. And again, just like the amenities, I was in love with this apartment. In-unit laundry, washer and dryer, which was a check on my checklist. And the kitchen was beautiful right along the wall. Really nice finishes. It looked a lot like the one from before with those white black splash, white cabinetry, gray countertops, and it had those stainless steel appliances as well. It was just like a lot of walking space, which I loved. Like, you could definitely fit a kitchen table in there or like an entryway table. There was just like a lot of wall space when you first walked in. And then the living room was very bright. It had a lot of window space. Some of these apartments actually had a balcony. This one didn't, but I really liked the lighting that was coming in the windows. And overall, I just really liked the living area of this apartment. My favorite part of this apartment had to be the amount of storage, guys. There was so much storage. There were racks on the wall where you can fold stuff or put things, and there was an additional coat closet that you can open up and put some things in, and it had customizable closets, guys. So my favorite thing about this apartment was that it did have those customizable closets. So there were shelves that are able to be removed, hooks that are able to be removed, and I did think it was pretty smart that the bathroom in this building was also inside of the closet. So you had your bathroom, and the bathroom was separate from the shower. And I just think that made perfect sense, because when you're using your bathroom, you step out and you can like be in your closet area, or if you're taking a shower, you can step out, get dressed in the closet. So I just thought this was like a really smart setup. I love the shower. It's just one of those basic like walk-in showers with the glass doors. Bedroom was pretty small, but it did get a lot of lighting in, and I just think it was the perfect spot for one person. So I left this apartment being absolutely obsessed. I loved it. I just couldn't get over those closets. Like, I was just like, I can definitely see myself here. So apartment number 6 was again another one of those affordable studios. This was very affordable, and the area that it was in actually makes sense. So this was a studio running for $16.95, and it was fully renovated, which is why I was excited to see it. And the pictures kind of did it a lot of justice. I was definitely catfish seeing this in the pictures versus seeing it in person, but I don't know what else I expected for the area that this was in. So you walked in, the bed was right there at the door. Really small space, but definitely livable. Again, the kitchen, I was like, It had marble countertops, but it was definitely like squished in a corner, and I was just like, they just kind of like pushed a lot of different things like in this area that did not fit. But I mean, I was like, okay, you can make do with it. For $1,600, I can definitely make do with this. But then I walked into the closet, and the closet didn't even have like a rod to hang things up on. Like, I looked up in the closet, everybody looked up in the closet, and there weren't any rods to hang up things. In the bathroom, again, this apartment was newly renovated, so it was a really nice bathroom, really nice mirror, really nice countertops. I really liked the shower as well. But again, I just felt like everything in this apartment was squished, because I opened up the door and the dryer and washer was like behind the door. Like, you'd have to squeeze to get inside. So for $1,600, yeah, it's worth it in LA, but this just, I don't know, this apartment was just weird. Apartment number 7, this was actually my longest tour, and this is kind of when I kind of got an idea of the type of building that I wanted to look at by looking at this building as well as the one before. With the amenities, this one also had a really nice pool. This pool was a little bit smaller, and there were actually people out at the pool, so I was like, okay, cool, there's people that live here, there's people that are using these amenities, and I was just very excited about the people that were being outside. This apartment had both a pool as well as a jacuzzi outside, and they also had a big screen where they show games and events when they come on the screen, and everyone just kind of gathers out and watches whatever is on TV. They also did have a study room and an office space just to kind of lounge around. Had a gym as well, just like the other place. I really liked this gym. It was a lot of space and there were a lot of machines as well. But in addition to the gym in this building, they had a 24-hour yoga studio, which is great. Like, you can go work out in the gym and then you can go next door and cool down. And there's also classes that are held in the yoga studio as well that they mentioned. And I was like, this is pretty cool. Great opportunity to try yoga for free while you're living there. You can just go right downstairs and go to a yoga class. But in this building, they showed 2 separate studios. They had a lot of different studio layouts. The first one that we viewed was running for $2,555, and this was a studio apartment with a courtyard view. As you guys can imagine, looking at an apartment that is viewing a courtyard, there isn't going to be as much lighting as you would like because again, it is facing a courtyard, so most likely there's going to be trees, there's going to be another building. So that was one thing that was about this apartment. But walking in, I already knew there was a ton of space for this to be a studio. And the bathroom I was obsessed with. It was just very pretty. I like the gold finishes that are on the faucets. I love the glass shower. I love the backsplash in the shower. And there was in-unit laundry, which I was like, okay, check this off of my list. I am just like, and unit laundry is just a game changer for me. Like, you need to have laundry in your apartment, especially if you're paying upwards $2,000. But I really love the kitchen. So this apartment had chef-inspired kitchens, again with that gold faucet, and I just love the backsplash had like a little light under that was like motion detector. So like I mentioned, this apartment didn't have the most lighting coming in because it was facing a courtyard, but I still did think that it like wasn't too bad for what it was. It had a walk-in closet, which was a plus for me. You guys know I have a lot of clothing, and it did have those big floor-to-ceiling windows, so not having as much lighting was not that bad for me. This apartment also did have a balcony which looked out at the courtyard, so as you guys can see, there were like a lot of palm trees out there, and it did look at another building. The next studio that we saw had a bit of a different layout, and this studio was going for $2,460, and this one had garden views. So walking into this apartment, there was already really good lighting, so I was like, yes, this is the go. Again, it did have that in-unit laundry as well, and it had those big windows that you guys saw in the apartment previously. This again was a studio, just like a different type of setup. Again, those bathrooms I was obsessed with. Thinking like if I were to live here, I would definitely change the light bulbs in the bathroom because there was kind of like a yellow lighting in the bathroom. Other than that, the bathroom was perfect. Like, I was like, I can start filming home content and just have like beautiful content in this bathroom. I was obsessed with the storage that it had in the bathroom as well. There were like shelves and cabinets and just like a lot of space, so I won't have to buy extra storage pieces. And as you guys saw in the previous apartment, they had the laundry inside of the bathroom. This one actually had it out in the hallway, which I liked a lot better. You can control your AC and heating, and I just knew that I could make do with this open floor space. It was a lot more spacious than some of the previous studios that I viewed, and I could definitely see myself setting this up with like a bed and a couch and just making it into like a 1-bedroom space, even though it's a studio. The closet was also walk-in. It had sliding barn doors, which I thought was beautiful. It was gray, and it just had like the most beautiful finishes. I really liked this apartment. This apartment also did have a balcony with the garden views, like I had mentioned, just like a really pretty views. You can see a little bit of downtown LA and just some of the like surrounding neighborhoods. That was the last apartment that I viewed. This apartment tour actually took a really long time because we got there a little bit late and we were able to see a few more apartments than we did previously. So I did run into the time for my next apartment, so I ended up just canceling that tour because I didn't want to be running behind. But I left that apartment feeling pretty confident in like what I wanted to look for, and like just knowing if I did have to sign a lease immediately, I just kind of had an idea of like the buildings as well as the one previously, because I also did really like that building as well.
Guys, I'm back at the hotel and now I'm stressed, like extremely stressed. I kind of like have an idea of where I want to live. I actually canceled the rest of my tours for today. Well, one of them, my last tour ran over time, but now my decision is definitely where exactly I want to be living at, because I kind of have a good idea of like what I like. So I really want to put in an application as soon as possible, but I'm just trying to sit here and like decide within myself. I could of course put in applications for as many as I want to, but not if I don't have to, you know? So right now that's what I'm sitting on right now. I'm just very stressed because I'm just like, I know what I like. I know I have like a good idea of like where I want to stay. It's just a matter of like, do I want to stay here or do I want to stay here? So currently sitting here debating where I want to stay. But I think I'm about to do some more research like on the apartments that I'm interested in and just kind of like compare and contrast certain things, because everything's different between the two. But hopefully I come up with a decision and hopefully I find a home very soon. I'm like This is so crazy. Like, I don't know if I'm like nervous to apply or if I'm like just don't know. Like, this is like so stressful right now. Moving is stressful. Like, just imagine when I actually find a place I want to stay and things just have to start coming in the works. So like, just imagine once I know, at least once I know where I'm staying, I'll know that. But like, I just feel like even more stress is going to come when it's time for me to literally pack up all of my things and move across the country. But yeah, so there's word on that. So we'll see. Just debating right now. Definitely will be putting in an application though, so.
But I did end up finding an apartment that I liked and applying and signing the lease, and I locked it in as soon as possible because you guys know I kept mentioning that the market out there is insane. So I did sign a lease. I am locked in. I am moving in a few weeks. So it is definite and I cannot wait to move. So make sure you guys are subscribed because there will be a lot of moving content coming within the next few weeks. You guys will get an empty apartment tour. You guys will get all of the moving content when I'm on my way there. You guys will get a decorating vlog. So definitely subscribe if you guys aren't already. There's a lot of exciting content coming and on the way. But thank you guys so much for supporting me and for coming apartment touring with me. Definitely make sure you guys subscribe so you guys can stay tuned with my life and like what goes on with me in LA and everything that I'm doing. I'm definitely going to be uploading more on YouTube and coming up with a more consistent schedule. But stay tuned for an actual apartment tour so you guys can see which one I will be living in and for all of the fun that is going to come with that. But yeah, your girl is moving to LA. I just have no words. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Say it, that bitch, put your hands